Okay, perfect. Thanks very much for your patience, Willie. You're appealing Elliot Minchella's 2-game ban this evening, aren't you? In your words, how crucial is the outcome to you and your season?
Yeah, it'll be next week now, so it's with people above me, but the final decision will be made next week. But obviously, yeah, missing Minnie is a big loss to us. He's been inspirational for us all year, on and off the field, and he'll be missed. But whoever comes in will certainly do the job.
Who you're leaning towards?
Well, Dean Hadley would be the obvious choice. He's done it before. We've got Jai Whitbread as well. It just depends on who we want to start and how we want to play. When we'll look at that later on the week.
The appeal will be heard next week, you say, just to be clear.
That's correct.
How do you feel about being without him then for this final game of the regular season?
Oh, look, it is what it is. We're going to be without him, so we move on. We've been without Minnie before this year. He's obviously played the majority of the games. Very important to what we do, but we've always said we're a squad, and whoever gets an opportunity will definitely grab that opportunity.
Squad news for this week, Willie. What's the latest on Kalepi, Tanganoa and Oliver Gildart?
Yeah, so Kalepi won't play, so he'll be another week, and Ollie, he'll be available.
Okay, your reaction to having him back?
Sorry, reaction to?
Oliver being back?
He played last week.
I do apologise. No Niall Evans, though, for you this week. He failed that HIA test, didn't he? Jack Broadbent filled in there against Wigan, didn't he? Will he slot in there again?
Well, there's options. We've got obviously Jack that could play there, and Mikey who played there last week. So Mikey got man of the match, picked up man of the match. So he's a very good fullback as much as he's at 5'8". So there's options there for us. And again, we'll decide later on the week. We'll finalise it later on the week.
Given Jack's quality, has he been a bit unlucky not to be playing more this season?
I think Jack's played a fair bit. To be honest, we've got a strong squad, but Jack's filled in. And he knew that he's probably played more than what I thought and what he thought. And whether it be fullback, whether it be centre, he's done a really good job for us. So he knows his position in the team and he does it extremely well.
Any fresh problems?
No, not that I can share. When I say share, no, I don't think there is. Always problems in rugby league, but you deal with them.
What's been the main focus then of your conversation with your players then since coming back in on Monday? Yeah,
exactly what we always do. We do a review of last week's game, and then we preview the following team. So we've done that. We had a look at Leeds today and how we want to play against them, and we all confirmed what our plan would be with the ball and defensively, and we went and executed that at training. So nothing changes too much for us. It's obviously back at home, really looking forward to it. We've got a new stand that's in. It's an extra 1,000 people. They're going to be there. So we're probably looking at 10,000, 11,000 people. So we're really looking forward to being back at home and hopefully giving our fans something to cheer about and make them proud like the players strive to do every week.
We'll talk more about the game in a moment, but confirmation today that Matt Parcell will be leaving you at the end of this season. How would you sum up his contribution, Willie?
Yeah, he's made a huge contribution, especially the time that I've been here, but obviously before that as well. He's a valued member of our team, and he's worked his way back in this year, to start at hooker. And, as I've always said, we've got two very good hookers. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep Matty next year, salary cap and things like that. But, we wanted to, as I say, we've got two really good hookers, and we wish him all the best. And no matter what he does, he's going to be success. He's an intelligent guy, and, he's got a great family, young family, and whatever he does, post rugby league, if that's what he decides to do at the moment, then he'll be success. He may play on, but that's something that he'll decide later on.
Has he been fairly straightforward to coach then?
I dealt with Matty years ago when I was at Manly. It was only a short period, and then so I knew Matty before I came. We had some good conversations before I arrived. He's a senior player. He's got his own thoughts on the way the game is, and we share similar thoughts and ideas. When he's vocal in team meetings, he always makes sense and has impact in those meetings. And I've enjoyed coaching him. As I said, he's an important part of what we do, and I do know that he wants to come, finish the competition as far as we can go. So obviously, we're in a position that we can strive to try and win something this year. And most important game for us is on Friday. I know he's excited for that against his old team.
Do you think he can still go round again? He's 32, I think, later on this year. Do you think he can still go round again?
No shadow of a doubt he could go round again. Yeah, of course he could. It's purely around salary cap and things like that and decisions around certain positions, needing to strengthen certain positions. Why Matty's not here, but it was more so it was his decision. Late last year that he decided that was more than likely going to be his last year. So we knew well in advance. And then we have to start planning off the back of that. So that's how it all started. And then he may go around again, but he's certainly good enough to go around again. That's for sure.
His decision, though, you say there.
Yeah, it was a decision Matty made late last year that this year was more than likely going to be his final year. Matty's our starting hooker, and he's a valued member of our team, but we knew a while ago that this was going to be his last year, so we planned accordingly.
There's a buzz about the club this week, and Coldplay, of course, are going to be coming next year. Does that excite you, Willie?
I think it excites my wife a lot more than me. She actually, when we come over, she said one off the bucket list was going to be going to Coldplay. So I was looking at places in Greece and everywhere else around the world, but now we've got it at a little old Craven Park. But no, it's huge, massive for us, massive for whole the city, and to have Coldplay play here, it's mind blowing, to be honest. So there's a few excited people, but as I said, I've got an excited wife that'd be looking forward to going. You
don't seem so excited though.
Pardon?
You don't seem so excited though.
No, I mean, it's huge. Yeah, no, it's massive. I'm excited for the club, as I said, for the city, and puts a smile on my wife's face. So I'll be excited about that.
And when did the coach get to find out? Do you get some inside information? Have you known for a while?
We find things out internally because obviously it's going to impact us. But I've only just found out. I found out recently, but it got announced today. Just purely around, obviously it's going to impact us, but we're more than happy to accommodate that in terms of our training. But we'll look at that later on. These opportunities don't come around too often, that's for sure.
So to this Leeds game then, for sheer final day drama, are you a bit disappointed, Willie, that you're not playing on the same night as Wigan?
Oh, I'm not disappointed. I mean, it is what it is. To be honest, I haven't thought too much about it. It's all we can control is what we can control, and that's playing and getting a result on Friday. So regardless, whenever Wigan play, it's not our concern or the decisions that have been made. It is what it is.
Should Wigan slip up, of course, you could claim the club's first top league title since 1985. What would that mean to you?
Yeah, it'd mean a lot, but it's not in our control. So, for me, it's more around going after a win on Friday and getting a top two position. That's the focus. When you're relying on other teams, certainly a team like Wigan, it sort of doesn't give you great chances. I mean, there's still a chance, but they're playing at home. But what we're in control of, and that's what we always like to do, is control what we can, and that's going out and performing on Friday against a team that's going to be desperate to make the six. So for me, it's going to be, do we want to come second, or like you say, potentially first, or do they want to get in the top six? Whoever wants it more will get the result.
Regardless of whether you can or you can't, there's still, of course, something to play for, isn't there? In this game, what sort of night will it be then? Do you think?
It'll be a typical night at Craven Park with, thousands of KR fans that are passionate for their team and want their team to win. So nothing will change in that sense. You're going to see a team that's going to be hungry, as I say, to chase a top two position. And, we've got some form at the moment. We had a loss against Wigan, but we certainly wouldn't have lost some, supporters that night. So we just want to continue the way we're playing and keep building towards the semis. And as I say, the result will take care of itself. We've got to get our performance right, and you don't want to be going into semis off a poor performance. So we're looking for a strong one.
How would you view the achievement of a top two finish, Willie?
Yeah, look, I think every team in the competition wants a top two position. And I think certainly at the start of the year, everyone's in a position to chase that. And then as the season progresses, teams sort of fall away that they're not in a position, and we found ourselves in a position, obviously up until now. So, Warrington's similar. They'll be chasing a win. We're chasing a win. We're going to chasing a win. It's down to 3 now. And, as I say, we're looking more around performance, but we certainly need the result to get to where we want to be.
Has it exceeded expectation, Willie, honestly?
Not for me. I mean, we don't look too far ahead, but you've got your plan, you've got your vision, you set your goals, you've got your KPIs, and ours have always been based around like process. I know that can be cliche, but it has. Like in games, if we meet certain KPIs, we win games. So, at the start of the year, we knew that we had a good squad. I've got a lot of belief in this squad, and I think it's taken the guys, halfway to 3/4, probably way through the year to really have that belief. So that's the main thing, that the players believe in themselves, because we certainly believe in them. The staff believe in them, that the fans believe in them. And I'm sure now that the players have got strong belief in themselves. So as long as we just keep, preparing like we have been, being consistent with our approach, then the results come off the back of that.
Why did it take so long then for the players to start believing in themselves, do you think?
I don't think it was a lack of belief. I think, we've never been, this is the highest we've ever been on the table. So unless you do it, that's when you get belief. We're not finished yet, but obviously this is the highest that we've finished in the Super League. So the players now go, okay, we're a chance to do something here. That's when you start to get belief, when it's not too far away. We've had to tick off a lot of little wins along the way, and that started, last year. And then there was a lot written about us around that we couldn't win away and we couldn't beat the top teams. And so you have to have those little wins along the way. How do you get them? You've got to have a process in place, and you've got to, believe in that process. So the belief started, a long time ago, but where we sit now, there's no doubt that gives players more belief. So you need to earn it. You need to have the evidence, and we've got the evidence now. So the players will believe more. And
you'll be getting the plaudits for that, of course. Does that sit well with you?
No, it's not. It's a team. At the end of the day, it's the staff that I've got. It's and it's the players. The players are essentially the ones that determine where we get to. We work hard. Every staff member that I've got, I value, and they work extremely hard. It's a team effort. So we've got a big staff. I'm very fortunate to be able to, and I'm thankful to the board that I have a staff that I have, and a number of staff that I have, because it allows players then to get more attention and basically be able to help them perform to their best. And that's essentially our job, is to help players perform to their best. And if we're doing that, we're doing our job. Then it's over to the players to perform to their best. And I think they've come to the party with the way they turn up each week and the way they're performing. But job's not done. We've got a captain's run on Thursday, and then we've got a game on Friday. So we're certainly it's not queuing the ruck. It's this is where the business starts. This is the business end of the season, and we've got to put the foot down even more.
Conversely, having been in the top two since July, to slip out on the final round would feel like what to you?
Not thinking about it, to be honest. I'm just thinking about our performance. Have been a strong performance. Thinking about us, preparing well on Thursday, and then coming in ready to play on Friday. That's all we're thinking about.
You've played and beaten Leeds twice already this season. What are your recollections of those two contests?
Both really tight games. We had a tight game here. We got them in the back end, and then we had another tight game over in Headingley when Brad took over. So obviously they've improved a lot since Brad's taken over. They're playing a lot more physical. I know the way Brad likes to coach, and you can see the players are trying to do that. They'll be even better after a pre-season, but they've improved a lot. So, we know what they're going to bring, but again, we'll just focus on what we can control and what our style is, and bring that on Friday.
What do you need to guard against?
Against them?
Well, to make sure that you don't, the last couple of games you've beaten them, what do you need to guard against to make sure this isn't any different? Yeah, just again, our prep. It's just how we approach the game, how the players approach the game for the back end of the week, and then how they turn up on Friday and the mindset that they're in. Again, we're in control of that. So we don't look at other teams and worry too much. Yeah, they've got their threats, and
we'll have a plan around how to handle that, but it's all around our focus and our approach to the game. And if we have the similar approach to what we've had, then the players will put themselves in a position to win the game.
You touched upon the fans very briefly already, but in all your time in the sport, have you known fans quite like these?
No, they're passionate. I was involved at the Rabbits, and there's a lot of similarities between both clubs. They're a passionate group over there, but it's they're a special bunch here. I think we haven't had major losses or consecutive losses over the last couple of years, but I can see that they're a loyal bunch, and I think if they can see that their players are putting in, then they reward that, and they acknowledge that. Now there's a bit more expectation of where the group's at, and I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, what the players are doing for them each week. And I always say there is a great relationship between the players and the fans, and I'm looking forward to seeing that on Friday night. It's players through their actions, and then obviously how vocal the fans are. That's the communication to each other, and the fans are starting to appreciate the way this team defends and work, how hard they work for each other. And I'm like hearing them, in the box when they're vocal around our defence, because that certainly gives the players a lift.
Best of luck, Willie. Thanks very much for your time.
Cheers, mate. Thank you, mate.
Hello, Willie.
Hey, Aaron Dam. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate.
I thought I'd ask again about the Elliot Minchella hearing, if you don't mind, just about how difficult it must be for you as a club to balance preparing for the team and also preparing for the hearing at the same time. No,
it's not, mate. The decision will be made next week. We don't have many this week, so it is what it is. And we just move forward with the team that we've got, and we're prepping accordingly.
And is it possible for you to give any insight onto the sort of evidence you might use sort of to back up your case in terms of trying to fight Minnie's corner?
Yeah, no, it's with people above me, and that they're taking care of that at the moment. So my focus is, and the team's focus is Friday.
Okay, and just with Matt Parcell, you mentioned that he wanted to go himself at the end of last year. So with the way that this year's unfolded, do you think there would have been any temptation for you to keep him with the way things have gone?
Oh, look, Matty, as I said, Matty could keep going. There's no doubt about that. But you start planning things when you communicate with players around their plans and things like that. So, we all knew, a long time ago that Matty wasn't going to be here this year. But Matty's worked extremely hard, and he's playing good minutes now, and a lot of quality in those minutes. So, he's with us to the end of the year. And as I said, Matty can keep going. Whether it would be here or whether it would be somewhere else next year, there's no doubt he can keep playing.
And just to relate to the issue of Matty's performance, I mean, this applies to a few players. I've mentioned it already in a piece, but I just thought I'd get your take on it. A lot of them know they're moving on at the end of the year, but they're still really putting in the commitment and effort that you want to see on the pitch. So can you just talk about how they've been contributing?
Yeah, I think what we try and do here, I mean, it's always difficult, isn't it, when either a player is going to leave, they tell a club, or a club tells a player that they're not going to be here, or their services aren't required for the next year. It's never an easy process, no matter what business, whatever you're in. That's never an easy process. But I think if you're upfront and honest with each other, that's the best way to move forward. So I think both parties have always been upfront and honest, and then you can move on. Naturally, initially, for players or the club or whoever it may be, there'll be disappointment there. But we'll always look at actions afterwards. And I'm certainly not a coach that won't pick a player because they're not here next year. I'll pick a player that I believe, and we believe, the coaching staff believe, that's right for that game that weekend. Whoever's training hard, whoever's attitude is still where it needs to be, and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of factors that go into picking a team, but it'll never be around whether a player's here or not here for the year after.
I know you mentioned last week that we speak about Dean Hadley a lot, but again, he's going to naturally come into focus again because of the situation at loose forward. So can you just talk about his versatility, how important that could be if he is called upon in that role, and what qualities he can bring to it?
Oh, look, Dino, I say it every week, he'll bring the same qualities, no matter where he's playing, whether he's playing at prop, at 13 or in the back row. He'll bring the same qualities, and that's effort, and that's competing, and that's working hard for his teammate, and that'll never change with Dean.
And just with Elliot Minchella, I know you probably won't want to focus on players who aren't playing in the next game, but can you just give an explanation as to what he brings to you as a team in that position, like what you're losing by him being banned for this game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to focus too much on what we're losing. I think what we try and do here is have a framework in place that whoever doesn't play a certain week, whether it's form, suspension, injury, that we can put someone in, and they know and understand our framework, and that won't change this week. So we've got, as I said, we've got players that come in that can do the job. Look, I've said it all season. I mean, he's our captain and inspirational leader on and off the field. So I don't need to go into all that now. We know what Minnie brings us, but also I want to focus on who's playing this week and who's coming into the side. I think that's important. So, they're going to get their opportunity, and players are going to get longer minutes that probably haven't, because Minnie's played a lot of minutes this year and he's a valued member of our team. He's our captain.
Just on that subject, with the Coldplay Tanganoa, you were mentioning earlier in the season that you want to see the consistency from him. So can you just talk about what he'll bring to the team and how happy you are with his consistency levels?
Yeah, he won't be in this week, as I mentioned before.
Yeah, but it's like going forward, he comes back into consideration.
Yeah, I mean, he's brought all year. I mean, I'm only worried about Friday, to be honest. Coldplay's not in. We're working hard with him to get him right, and when he comes back and he's eligible for selection, he'll bring what he's brought all year. And
you've tried to maintain a lot of consistency with the mood around the camp over the course of the season. But the reality is, at the end of this week, top 2 finish could be secured. League Leaders Shield is still possible. So, do you sense any sort of change in mood? Are you approaching this week any differently? Because it's such a big week.
Yeah, no, it's exactly the same as I said before. We know what's at stake. We know if we win and we get a top 2 finish, so that should be a huge motivator for the players. You'd like to think that's a massive motivator. But again, we always talk about our process and our prep and what that looks like, and that's been consistent. We've had a good one today. We'll go again on captain's run and then turn up in a frame of mind, as I said, to come back home and do the fans proud again. That's been our goal since early last year, and that hasn't changed. So the players have been doing that, and they'll continue to do that.
Regarding what happens with your position, the game between Wigan and Salford is going to be very significant. So can you just mention how important you think it is that a team like Salford fields as strong a team as or squad as they can do at this stage of the season?
Oh, that's none of our business or concern, to be honest. It's naturally if they don't field a strong team, you know what the result's going to be. And if they do field a strong team, then Salford, are capable of going over there and doing a good job against Wigan. But again, that's out of our hands, so I'm not going to even go into that because we can't control that. But what we can control is our prep and what we do on Friday.
From a club point of view, fully understand why you'd want to stay out of that matter. But from the sports point of view, generally, I think a lot of people might be questioning sort of the integrity of the competition if a team doesn't pick their strongest sides. Do you think there's validity to that sort of argument?
Is that what they're doing?
Can't confirm at this stage, but
well, then that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to comment on it. As I say, it's none of my business. It's if teams decide to do that because they think that they've got an opportunity to win the week after or whatever it may be, it's none of my business. So, I'll leave that to RFL, and then obviously if Salford make that decision, that's up to them. All I care about is Friday. All I care about is, is us preparing for our game and the approach that we want to have. It's, if Salford decide that's up to them.
So your stance is that basically squad selections for individual coaches are very much sort of in their hands. That's sort of your take on it.
My take on it is all I'm worried about is Friday. That's it. Like I'm not worried about any other team at the moment. I'm just worried about what we do. All that sort of stuff. If there's, obviously I'll let you guys talk about that, and if people want to comment on it, but I'm not going to comment on it because I'm just focused on what we're doing, and that's it.
No, I appreciate you answering that. Thanks for your time, Willie.
Cheers. Thanks, Aaron.
Hey, Willie. Hope you're well.
Hey, James. How you going, mate? All right?
Yeah, good, thank you. Just on Elliot's plan, another question on that. Just can you explain why you're waiting until next week? Because obviously hearings are usually on Tuesday evening.
Yeah, I'll leave that, mate. It's with people above me, so I'll leave that one.
Does it hinge on whether you get the week off?
Sorry, mate?
Does your decision hinge on whether you get the week off?
He's off this week, so as I say, I don't want to answer any more questions about that because it's not with me. So,
is there a scenario where he could sign up for Featherstone for the week after if you do get the week off? Could he sign up for them next weekend?
That sounds all right. Yeah, but I don't.
I'm trying to think about How are you going about it?
Yeah. As I say, honestly, I just want to focus on Friday. I'll answer questions around Friday. I'll let people above me handle that because they're handling that at the moment. It's with them.
Well, my next lot of questions are going to be about Salford as well, because the talk is that they will rest a lot of players. Can you understand why they would do it after being informed about a short turnaround at late notice?
Again, mate, I don't want to focus on that. I just want to focus on and talk around Friday. If I had an opinion on or a strong opinion on it, I'd bring it up, but it's not, our focus or, it's what we do on Friday night. That's the focus for me.
Well, just one last one. Just on that topic, just because the games have been staggered, can you see why people are questioning things around integrity when you've got games going on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, where Hull and Catalan may know how much they need for their respective games?
This might be selfish, but again, I mean, and I don't know whether it hinders us or not. I haven't even thought about it. Like I really am only thinking about our Friday's game. Now, if it hinders other teams and that's what they're thinking about, again, I can't control that. If we go win, then we finish top two. If Wigan lose and we win, we finish first. If we lose and Warrington win, we finish third. So that's all I'm concerned about is us going and do a job on Friday, and that's it, mate.
Yeah, because there are pretty big rewards up for grabs, regardless whether you can get top or not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, that game is irrelevant. Like, Wigan's going to be hard to beat. No matter who Salford play, but if Salford filled their best team, of course they can go there and win. Salford's a very good team. If they decide to not have their best team, and it's none of our business. Like it's a decision that they've obviously, if they do make, if that's what you're telling me, that's up to them. They have their reasons behind it, and I've got no concern because it's, as I say, like all I care about is preparing our team for Friday.
Good stuff. Thanks, Willie.
Cheers, James. Thanks, mate.
Hey, Willie, you all right?
Hey, Sam. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Just on Friday, you spoke a lot about the leadership group, obviously, and with Elliot being out, have you considered who will be the captain, or are you kind of going to just rely on that leadership group and kind of spread responsibility across the sort of senior players?
Yeah, so they do, take a lot of responsibility, our senior group anyway, but James Batchelor will captain the side. So he's captained the side before when Minnie hasn't played, so he'll be our captain this week.
Nice. And just on Batchelor as well, because I know it got mentioned last week about the fact he wasn't in the England squad, and he'll obviously have a big role this week with no Kalepi and no Elliott. How good has he been? I mean, since he's come back from injury, how good has he been in this season? Like, are you really surprised that he's not in that England squad, or is it just that we've got strong players in that position? Yeah,
as I said before, I think it sort of says around the strength of the team. I'm biased. Naturally, I think Batch do a tremendous job for England, but there's some very good players in there as well. So if Batch got in, I'd be extremely happy for him. But I know that if he just keeps plugging away, I know it'll eventually come for him. And as I said, I think it's a good sign for England, rugby league, because it's if guys like Batch are missing out, then he wouldn't let anyone down. I know that. So his time will come, and he's just got to keep plugging away.